Hey ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you how to use the Revolve tool. So, depending on what you're making, sometimes you might at some point need to use this to make some either kind of sometimes goofy cylindrical shapes or those types of things. So you can of course ask me if you think Revolve might be the best way, or I might even tell you, hey, you should use Revolve to make that or whatever it is. So if we look at Revolve, if we look at all these shapes up here, this is kind of all about, in a way, they're all extruding. They're all adding that third dimension or thickness to these things, pulling them out like. So revolving is just extruding around an axis, though. It's extruding in a circle in a way. So let's imagine we want to make this glass. I'm going to go kind of quick. I'm not going to be super precise. So when you do yours, like, you need to be way more precise than I'm going here. I'm just going to kind of get the basic shape and outline and all those types of things out of it, not the exact precise dimensions. So we got this glass, and let's think about the center point right here, and just imagine that we can only see half of it. So imagine we cut this right in half, and imagine what those lines would look like, or the shape would look like. And then we're basically going to draw that half. I'll show you what I mean. So let's go to 2D Sketch. First thing we want to draw is the center axes. Let's say that cup is 4 inches tall. So okay, there we go, 4 inches tall. There's the center line. That's the center point of that cup. Now let's say I measured the bottom. So that, let me back up for a second. So that center line was how tall the cup is. Now let's say I measure the bottom. Let's say the bottom is a 3-inch diameter. So what I would do is, if I'm only looking at half the cup, and if I want a 3-inch diameter, I'm going to do half of 3, which is 1.5. Great. Now, I need to do the top. Let's say the top is 4 inches. So half of 4, of course, is 2. So I'm going to go over, bam, bam. All right, now let's add the fancy business. So that's where we can use our arc tool. We can click the drop-down menu on line. We can do spline. So you might have to play around with your shapes. Again, so I should really be dimensioning some of this. I'm just going to go fast for the purpose of this lesson. So it's kind of rounded like that. And then it swoops in. So I'm going to go spline. It kind of swoops in. So I'm clicking, 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 making the mouse follow what I want. And then it kind of swoops back down. I'm going to check mark that. I'm happy with how that looks right there. And then I'm going to go arc the bottom to get that kind of a nice kind of rounded edge on that bottom. If I go out like this, that might cause a problem. So just so you know, so you got to be precise, be careful. Now I'm going to just connect that. I'm going to use line to connect that. Connect that. All right, now, if you think about it, we're looking at half of that glass. So here's the glass. We cut it in half. Now we're just like looking at half of it. Here's the center line. Here's the outside shape. So we're going to finish that sketch. Again, I should have my dimensions. They should be precise. Finish my sketch. We're going to revolve around the center axes. So I can click it right away, or I can click it after I click revolve, but I'm just going to click it right now. I click that center line. I click revolve. And then, okay, so it looks like I have to click the center line again. So I click revolve. I have to click the center line again. And it says full. So full is 360 degrees around. So what this computer just did is it took this shape and it made it all the way around in a circle. So for example, I could do 180 degrees. Well, that's half. Let's try 90 degrees, which is a quarter. So I think you get the idea there. So obviously we want this a full 360. And I'm going to finish that. And there we go. There's our cup. Just for kicks, let's make it clear. So find clear, clear. There we go, a beautiful glass, but, oh look, the top, like it's not hollow. So Don't try and use this as a cup because you pour something on there, it's going to splash all over the place. That wouldn't be good. So we have to do something called shell, which I will show in a different lesson. So right now we got the outside of the cup. We use Revolve to do that. To move further to make this thing hollow, shell will be a nice, simple way of doing that. So go check out that lesson if that's what you got to do. Thank you.